Hey guys, it's me. Welcome to Yes or No, the 74th video. This was supposed to happen this morning, but instead I had to do morning chores. Change the sheets, take out the garbage. Well, we're still doing it anyway. So, enough crap, and let's get it on. It's the 74th Yes or No video on the week of my birthday, I forgot to tell you. Let's begin. Start with our first question. Have you ever been robbed? No. 21% says they have, 79% says they haven't. I have not been robbed in 5 years. Doesn't matter now. Have you ever seen a snake? Yes. 71% says they have, 29% says they haven't. Well, I've seen I've seen a snake 7 years ago when I was at errands, when I worked at the zoo and we got some free time. We visited the reptile house, and that's when I saw it. Oh man, it still gives me shivers. Still gives me the chills just thinking about it. Anyway, can you do the splits? No. 34% says they can, 66% says they can't. I mean, if I even dare to attempt to do the splits, the only thing I'll end up splitting is my pants. And as for that 34%, you are probably the most flexible and most athletic people, of course. Would anyone call you flashy? No. 21% says they would. 79% says they wouldn't. No one would call me flashy. But if it's the clothes, then yes. Do you trust your friends? Maybe. 71% says they do. 29% says they don't. I don't know. I don't know what to trust anymore. Have freaking Pinterest. Have you ever been lost in the woods? No. 25% says they have, 75% says they haven't. Well, I was never, I'm not lost. I was never lost in the woods just because I've never been to the woods. Is English your first language? Yes. 56% says it is, 44% says it isn't. English has always been my language, and language will always will be. Have you ever dropped your phone right after buying it? No. 27% says they have, 73% says they haven't. Well, for that 27%, you probably felt embarrassed after you dropped it right outside the store or on your way out of the store, I suppose. Anyway, do you have more than 300 Facebook friends? I think so. 14% says they do, 86% says they don't. Well, I've been on my Facebook a lot recently, and I never looked at how many friends I have. So, yeah, I believe I do have more than 300. Do you understand algebra? No. 26% says they do, 74% says they don't. I never learned algebra, and never in my years of school education have I ever learned algebra. Are you athletic? God. Not anymore. 53% says they are, 47% says they aren't. Well, I was athletic, but I retired at an early age. Have you ever slept through your alarm? Hmm. Uh, no, I never did. 64% says they have, 36% says they haven't. Well, I was in my dreams recently, but the alarms took me right out of them. So, yeah. Do you have false teeth? No. 13% says they do, 87% says they don't. Well, that 13% are elderlies. I am too young. I am almost 26 and I'm too young to be having false teeth. They're also called dentures, by the way. Do you like to travel? Mm, I did. 82% says they do, 18% says they don't. Well, if I were to travel in the same back seat as my nephew Josiah, travel is not fun for me anymore, and it's not easy. Do you do you listen to music every day? Not every day. 64% says they do, 36% says they don't. No, I don't listen to music every day. I usually listen to music whenever I play Gran Turismo 7, of course. But no. Do you like Spider Man? Kinda. Oh my god, it's a tie. 50% says they do, 50% says they don't. Man, Spider Man is so famous. He made it a two-way. Golly, I kinda do. That's all I can say. Have you ever broke your promise? Yeah, I guess I did. 68% says they have, 32% says they haven't. Well, that's what led to that breakup last month. Back the day before Thanksgiving, right? She told me not to do it anymore, and I still did it anyway. I'm a jerk. Alright, one more question before we do the top three. Do you wash your hands after using the toilet? Yes. 72% says they do, 28% says they don't. I always wash my hands after using the bathroom. I even do it at work. Call me a liar? Then who are you? Alright, guys. It's now time for the top 3 questions and answers. We'll probably get back to the top 5 probably next year, probably next month, maybe. So let's start with the number 3. Number 3. Do you have a birthmark? No. 58% says they do, 42% says they don't. I never had a birthmark in my life. So, no. Number 2. Have you ever cried in public? You know what? I'll confess. Yes. 77% says they have, 23% says they haven't. Last year, WWE SmackDown August 25th, 2023 was the day that I learned that Bray Wyatt passed away. That was what led to me shedding tears in the crowd, along with, I don't know, some others. I think some were crying. I don't know. But I was crying in public. Um, and now it's time for the number 1 question. And that number 1 question is, have you ever hated someone for no reason? No. 59% says they have, 41% says they haven't. I mean, just because I hate someone doesn't mean I do it for no reason. You gotta have a reason to hate somebody. Like, you hate them because they hate you. Yeah, like, we hate Donald Trump, of course, since now that he's president. Believe me, I've seen the reactions. Alright, guys, that about does it for the 74th yes or no Q&A video on the week of my birthday. So, I'm gonna end this video here. SML might upload tonight, and maybe we'll do a little Fortnite live stream as part of the week of my birthday. So, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do something, and see you soon, and happy holidays.